Let me ask you this. How's your office like? Well, a recent study by real estate consultancy CBRE shows that by 2030, the standard issue office with rows and rows of desks could be a thing of the past. And that's because the next generation of workers has an appetite for change, and corporates will increasingly be shaping their offices to create what's called a high-performance workplace. And here's an incentive to change. According to a report, it can lead to savings of up to 30% on real estate costs. Channel News Asia's Wong Siu Ying with this report.
Many of us work in an office that looks like this. Although secretly some of us wish it could be a little more like this one at Facebook, for example. And maybe one day it could actually happen. Property consultancy CBRE says that by 2030, the traditional workplaces will be in the minority. In its survey of 220 experts, business leaders and youths from Asia, Europe and North America, nearly 8 in 10 respondents say they believe the physical workplace environment will become more important as the ability to work virtually increases. And they express a need for workplaces in 2030 to support overall well-being.
It is increasingly going to be about performance of business, where innovation and retention of talent are the two most critical competitive advantages. You must create environments that optimise the talent of the people that you have. And as I said, one size fits nobody is the current solution we give people.
CBRE says increasingly companies see real estate as a business tool to drive performance, and technology has also enabled people to work differently.
And it's putting that to practice. There are many types of workspaces at CBRE. Quiet spots and rooms where staff can work without distraction, greenery and open spaces. This meeting area, for example, can be converted to workstations once the curtains are drawn. And there is no fixed seating, so everyone is free to move around, interact and work with each other. CBRE says its Workplace 360 initiative has improved staff engagement. 58% of the employees said they are more productive. 80% reported an improvement in the ability to collaborate, and 63% of them felt more satisfied.
If you look at the cost structure of an organisation, real estate's only 10% of the cost of an organisation. People are 60 or 70% of your cost. So a small saving in real estate, if it was damaging of productivity, would be very detrimental. A small investment in real estate, if it gives you great value out of the people, is a very worthwhile investment.
And over at KPMG, it set up a 5,000 square foot clubhouse in the heart of the Central Business District in 2011 at a cost of around $1 million.
Here, staff can grab a meal or drink till 10 at night on weekdays or indulge in some friendly competition over a game of pool or other games. KPMG says the clubhouse has over 10,000 visitors each month and more than 70% utilization rate. As the concept of the work environment changes, KPMG says there's a need to be more flexible and to empower change.
What I like to talk about is work-life fit. It's fit to purpose because work-life is a continuum. So in general, people view this work-life proportion as being their own ability to control their time. So when people want to play, for instance, pool at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, obviously he knows he must have finished his work, he doesn't have obligations at 3:30, he needs just time to unwind, and the answer to that is why not?
People just are not just holed away behind a screen in an office, behind a table, but in order for things to happen these days, collaboration is essential. It's not working by yourself or even within your own department. You have to collaborate with other departments to really kind of push boundaries and try out new ways of working and new ways of doing things. And I think managers, actually, our role is to actually encourage such collaboration. It's no longer about clocking time in, time out. I think we're all measured increasingly so about the outputs and the results we deliver.
And the way DBS Bank does it is to create what's called a social hub, large spacious areas at different parts of the premises where staff could meet, work or just have a break. DBS, which hires some 9,000 employees in Singapore, has devoted about 10+% of its total space to such facilities. That works out to over 120,000 square feet of space across its 3 premises at Marina Bay Financial Centre, DBS Asia Hub in Changi and DBS Asia Gateway in Jurong. Analysts say a new generation of workers will also push for change and to rethink the experience of work.
It's almost expected, right, that you walk into an office with a certain reputation to have at least a minimal pantry, with products provided for a fruit basket, coffee machines, and all that in place. I've heard of childcare support, childcare center, karaoke rooms, billiard rooms, massage chairs. In the Microsoft Office, where you have the Xbox or these companies that produce gaming programs, you have rooms for gaming activities.
And showing just how important such a change can be, HR consultancy Towers Watson has set aside the best view in the house for the office cafeteria, which overlooks the Singapore River. Sharing the same view is the Forbidden City room. If you're in here, that means you don't want to be disturbed. There will be no phone calls and no meetings.
The also important thing about an office design is you create traffic. And so you create the opportunity for people to have chance meetings with people that perhaps they wouldn't necessarily interact with if it was a traditional work environment. And those chance meetings often lead into interesting conversations, which lead into interesting ideas.
That said, simply having a well-designed workplace alone will not help companies perform well or retain talent. HR experts say that would also depend on other key factors such as strong management, effective goal setting, and having sustainable engagement with employees.
If you had an amazing workplace, but everything else about the employment deal was wrong, leadership was poor, the sort of setting of goals and objectives wasn't very strong. I don't think the environment in itself is going to be a silver bullet, but it is a part of the overall employee value proposition.